At DW with R&D, no detail is too small. We figure all these small things is what makes DW great. All these little things add up. The basic philosophy at DW for R&D is to ask ourselves, is this going to improve the drummer's life? And one of the advantages of DW is that most of us here are drummers. So to come up with an idea on drums, it's usually problems that I've come up with, I've faced, or someone here that plays drums. You know, it could be the marketing guy, could be the guy behind the camera, could be the guy out there drilling the drums. They're drummers, so they're always coming up with ideas and suggestions. From there, we'll decide if that's a good idea. We'll ask ourselves, is this something that's important to the drummer? Is it going to improve his playing situation? Because again, our goal is to picture the drummer out there on the road and make his life better. We have an in-house CAD design team. We'll go in, we'll do some basic drawings of the product or the idea. We'll actually go and we print the first article in this 3D printer. It's an unbelievable thing that you can do nowadays. Operates like a printer, and it'll actually make the part out of plastic. So before we spend a lot of money or time, we can actually have a working prototype out of plastic in a matter of hours. We'll look at that, we'll pass it around to the drummers, we'll play on it if we can, or we'll talk about it. And at that point, we can determine, is it worth putting more time into it? And from there, we have our own machine shop. So we can machine it in a matter of hours or days, depending on the complexity of it. We can have a working prototype and test it out on the drum set. When we decided to come up with a new throw-off at DW, we knew we wanted something simple, easy to use. We wanted a lot more adjustment. We wanted the snare wires to drop off so far that when you hit that drum, there's no way you can hear the snares rattle. We felt that if we can come up with something that is easy to use and simple, every drummer out there is going to want it. Finally, we came up with what we think is the ultimate throw-off. Well, it's designed to be able to hold the wires up without a magnet. John came to me and he suggested we put a magnet in. I thought it was going a little overboard, but I was open-minded enough to try it out. And when we put the magnet on there, the feel of that was exactly what we were looking for. Strong enough to hold it, but not too strong to where when you tried to throw it off, it was difficult. I'm really happy we used the magnet.
The magnetic throw-off to one thing that's changed over time. A little thing like that that's just so positive and yet so easy, because I, like many drummers probably, can switch from snares on to snares off. Sometimes in the passage of a song, just a quick flick between two sections of the song in which I have the snares on or off. So that easiness of use and positiveness is important, because sometimes you go for a quick flick and it might not completely go off or on. So even a little development like that along the way, these are the little things that make this the exquisite musical instrument that it is and the beautiful work of art that it is.
The 3-position butt plate, that was something John and I talked about for probably a year or a year and a half prior to actually making anything. We wanted something for drummers to be able to, on the fly, in the middle of a song, be able to change their snare sound, but yet confident to know that he has that original sound that he worked so hard to get.
I've had engineers literally, and I'm not lying, be like, well, the Rex changed, they'll ask the music director, Rex changed snares for this song. He'll look at me like, did you change? I'm like, nah, I just changed the throw. And it makes their job a lot easier, and it makes me sound a lot better.
So basically, you have one position, loose, bit tighter, very tight, and you can do this and adjust it actually even while playing.
But fortunately, we came up with a design that was pretty easy to manufacture. So by doing this, we're able to put on every drum, and we didn't have to raise the price on that. We look back, it had been almost 10 years since we've changed the 5000 pedal. We knew that this was something that the industry looked at as the standard, and we had some great ideas on how to do it. Specifically, the toe clamp area was really frustrating for us as drummers, clamping on the different thicknesses of hoops, different size, different diameters, and not having a really good clamping area. And after many, many different design changes, we found what we think is the best way to hold a hoop. the tri-pivot toe clamp system. We feel we succeeded by putting the 360-degree pivoting pads on there. There's 3 pads. There's 2 on the bottom and there's 1 on the top of the toe clamp. And between the 3 of those, they're all able to pivot 360 degrees. When that happens, it'll grip on the surface of the hoop flat. So no matter what the diameter is, what the thickness of the hoop is, what angle you tilt it at. Some guys like to tilt the drum towards themselves. These pads will accommodate that and still securely hold the hoop. We decided to make some changes on our tom bracket, the TB12. Now when you do something like this, you have to be real careful because visually drummers look at our drum set and this stands out. This is part of the kit. This is part of what makes it a DW kit. I wanted to make it a little more streamlined. I wanted it to fit in cases better. That was a common problem. Drummers couldn't fit them in cases as well as they would like to. So we wanted to make it a little more sleek. We wanted it to hold better. This has less moving parts. We internalized a lot of the parts. Anything externally that's moving can get messed up by the weather, by climate changes. So by taking the hinge off the door, putting these moving parts inside, it protects them. In order to make more room in the cases, what we decided to do was to turn the wing nut to the side a bit. And by doing this, it lowers the profile around the drum. And fortunately, if you gain a 1/4 inch on one side, by the time you go around 3 positions around the drum, it adds up, especially on a floor tom. If you have 3 of these sticking out of a floor tom, you take a 1/4 inch off each one, that gives you 3/4 of an inch more in the case. This was really important to drummers. Even a 1/4 inch really helps. Our fixed hi-hat that we've been selling for many years has been the same. We saw this as an area that we could offer some improvement or some versatility in the drums. Instead of it just being another fixed hi-hat, was there a way that you could easily adjust it for different songs? To have it where you can have the hi-hat cymbals really tight and somehow just by the move of a lever have a really loose, sloshy sound for the cymbals. We wanted to be able to adjust it quickly. We wanted to adjust it in several positions, but we wanted to stay in those positions securely. While it's easy to move, it won't move while you're playing when you don't want it to move. We're also going to sell this as an add-on that you can just screw on top of your cymbal stand. This will come in at a lower price, which is great. It's simple to add on, and it gives you that adjustability. So any cymbal stand that has 8mm threads on it, you can screw this attachment to it and have this incremental clutch hi-hat adjustment. On our fixed hi-hat, this will be an upgrade. We think it's a great upgrade. I think it'll make it like another instrument for the drummer. It's like having the adjustment on the snare drum, the 3 positions. You now have positions for your hi-hat tensioning. We looked at the Toothless tilter. Great tilter. When you take the cymbals off, you remove the wing nut. You have a wing nut, you have the felt, you have a second felt, you have the sleeve that protects the cymbal. And we just thought this was too many items for a drummer to have to worry about when they're playing a gig. So we combined the felt and the wing nut. We combined the sleeve. We serrated it so the felt presses over it. And then we connected the sleeve to the seat. So now there's only one piece that comes off when you take the cymbal off. Nothing else will fall off your stand. Again, this seems like small, minute items, but to a drummer, this is something they shouldn't have to worry about. Our goal here is to have the drummer be able to sit down and play and not worry about setting up the kit. We want them to be able to focus on playing. The future of DW is to come up with things that improve drummers' lives, their playing situation. Again, our attention to detail. Nothing's too small to work on. At DW, the art really is in the details. We have lists of products that we want to come out with. We have improvements that we want to work on. I think because we're all drummers, we have a lot of drummers coming through here every day. There's never a shortage of ideas or new products at DW. For more information on some of the details we've been talking about for our products, go to dwdrums.com and check it out.